Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Street Peace Coalition. This evening, I'm filling in. My name is Gerald Muhammad. I'm filling in for Johnny Muhammad this evening. I'm here again from last week with a special guest. He was here last week, Dialobe let me get it right. Lumumba, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. I'm sorry. And we here to fill in and recapture on some things that we talked about last week, and about the social injustices and the violence and things that's going on in our communities. So this week I'll be asking a few questions, and we have a number here for the callers if you want to call in with your questions at 312-738 1060. So this evening I want to ask a question from dealing with your past experiences in street organizations and your level of experience and intervention. Do you think it's going to take, what do you think it's going to take to curtail some of the violence that's going on in our streets today?
Well, that is a topic that I have done some extensive concentrating on, thinking about. Violence is basically, this is just my opinion, violence is something that our children, as well as we, were socialized into thinking that that's some type of norm in life. So, I mean, when you look at it psychologically, you got to recognize the fact that black children are the only children in this country that hears music, TV programs, radio programs, where black people are being degraded, humiliated, called N-word, and there's absolutely no consequences for it. I'm saying our children grow up every day saying that niggas ain't this, F a nigga, kill a nigga. So when they grow up, they automatically have this attitude that, hey, a black man's life is, worthless. So they tend to act out accordingly until they know better.
Right. Do you think that if more what we say in the streets, more OGs or more older guys that was the head of these street organizations back in the day, if they got more proactive, do you think that would help some of the random shootings? And
there's this thing that they call a disconnect between the old and the young.
Yes.
Well, I get along very well with a lot of young guys that I intermingle with.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take brothers. First of all, it's going to take, like Minister Farrakhan always say, which I give him credit for, it's going to take fearless men to go out in the street and actually confront the young brothers out there that's doing the violence and negative things in the community. Mm-hmm. But that's what we do. We do it on a regular basis. But I think it's going to take more, and we're in the process now of recruiting those individuals to participate in those type of activities.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the wake of some of the shootings that's been going on last week, our youth have this on-site mentality where they're just randomly shooting at each other on expressways. I'm looking at the incident that just happened a few days ago, and they doing this in the wake of innocent people, and they're not really paying attention and understanding that this is not a video game and that this is real life circumstances, and that you got people driving on these expressways, not doing the speed limit, but 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, and if something happened, that can, it's a catastrophe,
True.
And it's innocent people being involved.
And in response to that, I'd like to say this, brother. Who saw somebody do it?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so, I mean, the news always comes out with this scenario that it's gangbangers or whatever.
Mhm.
We have to, first of all, we have to recognize that we as a people are being terrorized, not just by gangs, but by people like the police department, by racist organizations that exist within the law enforcement
Okay.
that can come in our community, that can put people in garbage cans and burn them and get away with it because they're going to blame it on some N word.
Right.
Or can drive up and shoot somebody standing up at a bus stop and get away with it because they know it's going to be blamed on N word,
Right.
gangbangers.
Mhm.
So a lot of these things that goes on in our community, a lot of the violence. See, and this is something that I consistently repeat. When I was young, when I was gang banging, police used to bring our enemy to us, put them out in the alley. They used to take us, and they had police to do the same thing to us. Okay, this was a way of inciting and promoting violence in our community because we thought these police was all right with us because they would bring guys over there, let them out for us to do whatever we wanted to do to them, and they would do that likewise with us. That was considered a norm. All right, but my thing is now they have a different strategy. Their strategy now is to ride around in these undercover cars and shoot black people. They're trying to terrorize us for the sole purpose of running us out of the city. You look at the news every night that you hear shooting, they will purposely go find a black woman to say that she's leaving the city. It's all about terrorizing black people and creating genocide and gentrification in the communities that we live in. That's basically it, and that's all.
Right. Right. What you call a strategic,
Yes.
a strategic planning because yes, you absolutely
Because
right.
we have so much negativity going on in our community
In
that
itself,
they can come in our community, and it's hard to get some of these black people out here to understand this here. White folks been killing us for all these years, but it's hard for you to believe that a white man is out there shooting black people at bus stops, in alleys, walking down the street. It's hard for our people to accept that, but they would, if they come on the news and say, yeah, it was a shooting and it was gang related, they don't have to mention a name or have a face or nothing, but we automatically gonna go to the side saying, yeah, see, them niggas this and them niggas that. And those things that we need to be conscious of because, see, even though we got people that do negative things in our community, all right, just like we know who they are, the police know who they are.
right.
They are being arrested. I mean, they got informants in all these so-called street organizations out here. They got people out here telling them what's going on. All right,
Yes,
they know basically every illegal activity that's going on within these organizations is being allowed in our communities because it helps to create the type of degradation that you see exist in our community. That's why they threw drugs and guns in our community because I mean. You got all this hoopla going on about the schools and all this is it's just a sham, man, because all this is directed at black children, basically. Black people are going to be the only one losing out. You got this fight, this alleged fight with Madigan and Rana. That's a bunch of honky-dunk, man. These people are conspiring to create chaos and confusion in our community so that they can gentrify it. And that's their ultimate goal, is to gentrify the areas that a lot of the so-called violence or so-called gang violence is going on in our community.
Yes, because I noticed that, you know, with all the shootings going on, no one's never found or things like that, you know, and it's weird, you know. There's no, you know, all of a sudden all these cameras everywhere when it comes to something that they want, you know, to you know,
Push their narrative.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Now, if you look at the fact that when they first come out with these cameras, they was telling taxpayers, this is what your money is doing. They showed some guy blowing a blunt somewhere on Chicago Avenue, but other than that particular incident there, you've heard absolutely zero about cameras catching crime in our community, but there's a camera on every other block.
Exactly.
Okay, but people come in and do shootings and all this. You don't never see a license plate. You don't never see a person. They never mention it because they've dumbed us down. Even though they got all these cameras in our community, they can't catch nobody committing no crime. But if you go and walk down every street on the west side where they got these cameras, you'll see people under these cameras selling dope,
Right.
selling drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in an open market.
Exactly. I want to recapture back from last week
Yes, sir.
on your history in the community, and you was telling us about some things that that occurred that led you to where you at now. You want to go back and re-emphasize on
Yeah.
some of these things for us tonight?
Yeah, think I mentioned last week that I was a member of the, I was a original member of the Four Corner Hustlers,
Yes,
Vice Lords,
Mm-hmm.
and that I grew into the leadership of that organization. However, people tell you that you have to be a killer to be in a so-called street organization.
Yes, sir.
That's a lie. I never killed a person a day in my life. All right?
Yes,
and
sir.
I can sit here and there are those out there that's watching this film. No one can ever come up and say that I was involved in a killing or shot somebody. All right?
Yes, sir.
So now I was well respected in the community because I was standing up for the community, all right?
Yes, sir.
But I was railroaded as a result of me taking the positions that I took at the age of 15 and sent to prison with an 80-year prison sentence. And as a result of that, I was subjected while in prison to I spent 26 years with approximately 16 of those years spent in isolation.
Wow.
However, with the years that I was allowed out in the general population, I went to school. I accumulated some trades, some skills, which they had in prison at that time. However, I don't know if that's still in existence right now. However, I became conscious
Yes, sir.
thanks to the teachings that we were consistently given to study by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, of whom
Yes,
we
sir.
have all respect for, including those who follow him.
Yes, sir.
And as a result of us becoming into the knowledge and the consciousness of who we are as a people, we decided to give our young brothers and sisters a different direction in an organization. So we came up with literature
Yes, sir.
that was beneficial, enlightening to the young brothers and sisters. So as a result of that, like I said before, the literature became criminalized. Leadership was being separated, taken out of one prison, put in another prison. There was a lot of chaos. As a result of, not only did Vice Lords begin to study the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but other organizations began to change their views. GDs, BDs, Stones, Souls, all of them began to change their concepts and views about what was happening. I was in the cell. I was a cellie with Larry Hoover.
Yes.
He's a good brother.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? A real good brother. And he and I was, we collaborate on a lot of ideas and whatnot. And I hope that one day that this brother will be free, because it'll take brothers like him, brothers like Jeff Ford, out here on the street, could do a tremendous amount of work in terms of stopping the violence that we see
Yes,
or
sir.
that we hear about. Okay? But they don't want to let these brothers out because they want this violence. They don't want to let nobody out that's going to stop this violence. They don't want the violence to stop, man.
Yes,
This
sir.
is that ain't nothing better when you see people getting on TV, the mayor, the police chief, talking about, we need to put more sentences on these people, so whatnot. They are in tune with the judges that send these shooters back to the street.
Right.
This ain't nothing but a donkey pony game, man. They play games with people's minds to make us think that they fighting crime. But if they fighting so much crime, why does crime exist in our community? And we know for a fact that there are informants that tells the police everything,
Yes, sir.
from drug addicts to gangbangers, from killers to people who want to see their community safe. All
Yes,
right?
sir.
So it's basically a sham that they putting out, about the so-called gang violence, because ain't nobody really gang banging no more. You have personal brothers with personal beefs with one another. We try to mediate a lot of those, which can result in other brothers and sisters getting involved. But we've been successful, I would say, particularly on the west side, in mediating numerous confrontations that could have become tragic.
Yes, sir.
So, we take pride. I take pride in being a member and a part of the Street Peace Organization. And I thank the brother minister for inviting me to be on this program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go to overhead for 1 minute here, and you can reach us at the Street Peace Coalition via Facebook.com Street Peace Coalition, and you can also give us a call tonight if you have any questions at 312-738-1060. And you know, I noticed we was just talking about how you was inside. I noticed a lot of our youth, and I overhear them talking, and they kind of glorify going in and out of these different penitentiaries and in the county jail, and they talk about it as though it's nothing. Like, you know, they just gonna go sit down for a little bit and come back. And then you have those that go in and they don't never want to go back in, you know. And it seems that those are the ones that's more easily reached than those that are perpetual and going back and forth and thinking that it's a glory game until they become up in age and see that life has taken a toll and a different role for their future. What do you think these young guys that go in and out and, you know, glorifying that, do you think it's psychological, something going on with the psyche, or is it the narcotics that they're
well, to be honest with you,
with
to be straightforward, I don't think really nobody really glorifies it. You know, I hear young brothers making certain comments. They talk that way to make themselves be something bigger than who they are.
Yes, sir.
You know, they're not glorified. They're not. Ain't nobody that I know of or that I've talked to have been happy about catching a case and going to prison. But I mean, you got some brothers that are back in and out, in and out, in and out. So therefore, they think, you know what I'm saying, it's some type of game, because these people. When I say these people, I'm talking about those white judges and those crooked, racist white policemen in our community. They orchestrate a lot of this criminal activity. They know that Eddie Johnson get on the TV and say they know who the shooters are. If y'all know who they are, then why in the hell can't y'all put them in jail?
Right.
If y'all know who they are, then why in the hell can't y'all use y'all informants to lock them up?
Right.
You know they are, and the fact of the matter is, you don't want to lock them up because you don't want the crime to stop. If the crime stopped in the black community, white folks in this city would panic. I'm not a racist. I'm just telling it like it is.
Right.
They don't want black people to stop violence. That's why it's still going on. They stopped the Black Panthers. They stopped other organizations. But the reason that they still allow the so-called quote-unquote gang banging to go on, because gang banging only serves the purpose of helping them to with the gentrification in our community.
Right.
So basically, you know, it's going to have to be us that's going to have to save us. And we're going to have to be mindful of what the police are doing. We can't keep talking about, no, man, it's them little niggas that's doing. Them little brothers have more interactions with police than we think, bro.
Right.
Them little brothers talk to police. They be sitting in the cars talking to police. They be talking to police on the phone. Okay? They have a whole lot of interactions with these police. These police come to them. Say, I'll take my own experiences. I done got in police cars. They had guns sitting on the floor.
Okay.
Roll me around. Say, yeah, okay, I see you smart. You didn't pick that gun up. Okay? But it's a lot of these type of incidents are going on while they trying to get us to focus on our little brothers and sisters.
Right. I understand.
Yes, sir.
We have a caller. Caller, do you have a question?
Well, actually, I wanted to say peace and love to our brother, man. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to commend him and let him know that we actually grew up as shorties together. You know what I'm saying? And it just amazed me to see the brother still striving and still standing for this struggle. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that he's saying is absolutely true. You know what I'm saying? I want to say my name and I want to call his name, but I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, right now I don't think it's the time. But we definitely got 20 years of experience, and I know that, like I say, the leadership in our community is kind of shocked. Well, the system is so racist that brothers that they know that can bring changes, it's the laws that they got our hands tied, that we out here And when you try to come and bring some kind of structure, the law is designed to put you right back in the cage.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
So we actually stuck, you know what I'm saying, because we know what to do. I'm talking about with the brother sitting right there, myself, and a few other chosen ones. We know what to do,
Yes, sir.
but it's just the laws. That if our name really get through out there, then we back in the cage just for trying to make peace.
That's right.
Sir.
So the system is designed to destroy the black man. Just say, you know, it broke my heart just yesterday. Yesterday was December 4th. And as I walk around our community, our young brothers is so shocked that nobody know their history. And just like we saying Black Lives Matter and we saying all this killing, but nobody want to go back to the original when they killed Fred Hampton.
Yes, sir.
See, we don't even speak on that no more.
Yes, sir.
So our history is shot.
Yes, sir.
And the brothers, like I say, the chosen ones that they know that can make changes, they got our hands tied because there's nothing we can do.
Oh, sir.
Because
I'm gonna let brother.
we step up to make things happen, they gonna put us right back in the penitentiary. But hey, I just want to say peace and love to you, bro.
Peace and love,
And
bro.
keep up the work, and the struggle continues, man.
Yes,
Without
sir.
a doubt.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, he put it out there. You know, we.
Yeah,
it's
that's true. I mean, because you
Yes,
got
sir.
a lot of brothers out here that know what to do and know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
However, they ain't gonna have no problem with the gang bangs. They gonna have a problem with law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
You know, we know what to do. We know exactly what to do to bring some peace to our community.
Yes,
Okay, I'm not particularly afraid of law enforcement because I'm not doing nothing illegal.
Right.
Okay, but I'm gonna ask the brothers that's out there to come join us in the Street Peace Coalition.
Yes, sir. Well, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, and next week we're gonna go into more detail about what the brother was talking about with the laws. But you know, you can reach us again, like I say, via Facebook, Street Peace Coalition, and Street Peace Coalition weekly.com. And I thank you all for tuning in. And we will reach you next week on the Street Peace Coalition. My name is Gerald Muhammad, and hopefully Johnny Muhammad will be back next week. And this is Brother Dialobe Lumumba. I'm going to get it right, brother. I'm a little tongue twisted, a little nervous first time in front of the camera, so my audience, please excuse me. And we'll be tuning in, like I said, next week, and we're going to go back and revisit about the laws that the brother was saying, you know, which is injustice to us, you know. So next week, stay tuned for the Street Peace Coalition, and we'll be back.
And we need soldiers, anybody that's out there that's willing to take a stand, be a man or a woman, come join us. Hit us up at streetpeacecoalition.org.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Peace.
tuning in.